Well, this here is the Honda Civic. It's a car which really doesn't need any introduction, but I'm still going to give it one. This is a car which really is iconic all across the world simply because it is a phenomenal product. Now, don't think that Honda has paid me money to say all this, because I don't take money to eat. That's something that I don't like, but I do eat a lot of aloo parathas, which you can tell by looking at my tummy. But jokes apart, let's get inside this car, drive it around at the BIC and tell you why it is the best driver's car in the market under rupees 25 lakhs. Let's get started. But before that, small request, please do follow me on Instagram. My handle is AshishMasi1. If you of course follow me on Instagram and help me improve my followers, and manufacturers like these will send their cars to me a lot sooner, so I can make a lot more videos for you right here on this channel. Just like the last generation of the Civic, even this one has a very futuristic, very advanced looking cabin, very stylish. You of course get digital dials for the gauges, and you get this huge tunnel running across the cabin, the front cabin, which really separates the passenger as well as the driver. So it really does feel like you're sitting inside a cockpit of a fighter aircraft, and I'm not exaggerating, it really does feel like that. Quality of all the materials is really very good, and it is a very consistent cabin in terms of the quality. The dashboard here with its big screen as well as all the buttons looks elegant, looks classy, and still looks very modern. Now, the steering wheel can be adjusted both for rake as well as for reach, which is a good thing, and you also get electronic seats in the front, which also aids overall practicality as well as ease of getting your own driving position. The seats themselves are very good in terms of comfort, and in terms of utility, it's a very good place to be. And you get this huge box where you can keep a whole host of stuff. It's a nice and deep box. It's also lockable completely, and the glove box also is of a large shape and size, and the door bins are large enough to house those big Marley bottles. Overall, it's a posh and upmarket place to be in inside the Civic's cabin. Well, so if you're someone who prefers to sit in the back seat, I have good news for you. And that good news is that there's plenty of place in the back seat of the Civic. Headroom also is pretty good. Now remember, even though this car has a curved roof, it has a bit of a sloping roof line at the back, even then there's plenty of space, and I've got about maybe 2 or 3 inches above my head. So if you're about 6 or even 6'1", you should be quite okay, because my height for reference is 5'10", and even then I have plenty of place to stretch my head. Actually, I don't have place to stretch my head, but I can, of course, if I am taller. Now, if you want to only have 2 here, you can always pull out the armrest, and you can keep a beverage over here in the cup holders. There's a bit of a lump, but it's not too much in the floor panel, because the side wells are pretty big enough to accommodate the feet of whoever's sitting here. The seats themselves are nice and comfortable, like the sofa at home that you have. So it's a nice and comfortable place to be. Well, the boot on such a big and long car should be impressive as well, and the Civic does not disappoint. As you can see, it's a huge boot. It's also a very deep boot. The aperture also is generous, and I have only praises for it. And I'm not going to run my mother-in-law jokes, because those get me in trouble at home sometimes. There's a bit of a lip, but you can forgive it because it is a sumptuous boot. Overall, in the boot department, I'd give it a strong 9 out of 10. Well, so the Honda Civic is a car that truly impresses on more fronts than one. First of all, as I just said, it's a great car for anyone who considers himself a keen driver and enthusiastic driver, because no matter which engine you choose, you might choose the petrol or the diesel, both engines are very good, but the petrol excels at refinement. Yes, the 1.8 litre petrol motor, the iVTEC, is excellent in terms of refinement, but not only that, it's inherently a very responsive unit as well. It really does start responding from low RPMs and goes all the way up to its red line of about 6,000 RPM without any fuss whatsoever. So it's a great engine in that department, 6,500 RPM to be honest, and it goes all the way to that red line. And what you'll also enjoy is the steering wheel. It's a very precise, very accurate, and brimming with confidence steering wheel. Now, it's not a heavy steering wheel, it is a light steering wheel, which means that if you drive this car all day in city, you won't get tired, and you won't start shouting on your wife and kids when you get back home, because it'll offer you that kind of confidence and it won't tire you out. And the suspension setting also is very good. It's a very nice and absorbent suspension on the Civic, and if you drive it on those badly patched up roads, those bad patches all across the city, even then you won't feel disappointed or tired or feel those bumps and potholes, because as I just said, It's a very absorbent setting, a very absorbent setting on the suspension, and it simply soaks in all the bumps. Now, buyers of the Honda Civic will also appreciate the fact that the visibility on this car is excellent. You get very chunky and large mirrors in the sides. The center mirror and the view from the back is also pretty good. And even though the pillar here is of a decent shape and size, you can easily look around it. It's not a very chunky pillar, so you can look around it. What I'm essentially trying to say is that the Honda Civic is a great car for people who want to drive themselves. It is refined, especially the petrol. It's very agile. The suspension is very good and comfortable, and you'll just enjoy driving this car. Remember, this comes with a CVT only in the petrol version, so it is also a very hassle-free car to drive, and the automatic can shift gears using these flappy pedals as well. So it is a car which offers you an engaging drive. And if you're on the market for a budget of about 25-30 lakh rupees and want to buy something, don't go for the SUV, because everybody else is buying that SUV. You should stick with the sedan and stick with a car which offers you an engaging drive. And if that's your priority, then the Honda Civic is a car which should be on your shortlist. In fact, I would say just go ahead and buy it. It really is a sensational product. It's an iconic product, and one which truly deserves all the accolades that it has got over the years. It comes across as a very good product. It's a great all-rounder. You get excellent space in the cabin, you get excellent ride comfort, and the engines also are brilliant to drive. In short, what I'm trying to say is that if you are someone who wants to sit in the backseat, it's a great car. If you are someone who wants to drive himself, it's a great car. And if you are someone who just wants to admire its beauty, it's a great car to look at as well. So I'll give it a strong score of 90 out of 100, and I'd recommend a strong buy.